Minecraft is deeply flawed, and I plan to fix it, in my own kind of way. Most people attempt to emulate the original feeling of the early 1.8 and lower versions, but that has been done time and time again, and I thought I might aim higher. I want to make Minecraft the perfect game, period. Whether you know it inside and out, or you're experiencing it for the first time, I want to make this game the ultimate blast to play through regardless of player circumstances. By taking inspiration from every legendary title I can think of, I plan on creating the most enticing experience all of mankind has to offer. For Chapter 1, we will outline every issue I have with Minecraft and exactly how I plan to fix it. We'll be using the Forge mod loader since it offers the most content for me to utilize. The less work I have to do, the faster I actualize my dream. The first and most obvious issue is the performance. Now, there's hundreds of videos detailing on how to improve the performance in Minecraft, so I won't go into great detail, but all the classics like Embedium, Canary, and Starlight. With a simple set of mods to increase the performance, we can start work on visual changes, adding all kinds of neat little things like blur when you're using any GUI menu, not enough animations to make the player model look better, visuality to make particles better, YDM's Weapon Master because it looks awesome, and other miscellaneous things like Presence Footsteps and Skin Layers 3D. Now to work on gameplay changes, one of the most important and overlooked part of Minecraft is the structures. In the current state of multiplayer vanilla Minecraft, exploration becomes instantly difficult to plan around. Structures are randomly generated, offer little to no challenge, and become useless the second someone loots them. This means if you want an emphasis on exploration like I do, your server would die within the week. One or two no-lifers and every single structure within a 200,000 block radius gets looted super quickly, and although I would like to reward the early bird, this makes it so that joining the server at any time other than when it begins means it's difficult to get good value out of the structures, if any at all. So this means whatever we do, we need to make sure these structures reset themselves in order to make exploration always valuable. However, having a desert temple reset itself is not exactly the most engaging structure, so with the right tools, we can instead have a preset map with all the dungeons built myself. This way I can effectively balance all the loot tables, make fantastic looking dungeons, and control progression through my own idea of how this should function. Not to mention, this gives me some wild new opportunities for some fantastic lore. But what are good structures without a good way to fight through them? That's right, it's time to talk about combat and take inspiration from our first game, Ultra Kill. This game's fast-paced and simple yet intricate combat system offers the perfect combination of flavors to make the Ratatouille critic scene for gaming. Every weapon in V1's arsenal interacts with each other. If you would reject the core from your shotgun and shoot it with your rail cannon, you can make a huge explosion. Or maybe you shoot your rocket launcher variant but want to reuse the cannonball, so you use the whiplash you got earlier to parry it back, dealing more damage. There's tons of ways to use the crazy weapons in Ultra Kill, and the skill curve is impeccable. So how do I translate that into Minecraft? Well, two things. First off, we'll install the Parkour mod to shake up the movement a bit in order to make moving around the map more fun. Then we can add better combat to refine the intricacies of cooldowns and swing animations. Then for the cherry on top, we can add spells that do all kinds of different things when combined. There are a few candidates for this, but the best idea is Iron Spells and Spellbooks, as it has the most interesting and complex looking magic system. It's not incredibly overpowered, it allows for some very versatile combat, it adds several simple systems that make the magic system very engaging to play around with, especially in conjunction with some of the other mechanics I'll add, like shooting crossbows with rockets launching you in the other direction, skillful maneuvering with the Parkour mod, and some new elytra mechanics I'll talk about later. Looking back at exploration, we'll need to make sure every biome is stunningly beautiful and engaging to walk through, which means we'll probably take some inspiration from our next game, Ark Survival Evolved. Now, Ark does have some fantastic scenery, and for that we're just going to use Terraforged and a dynamic trees mod to spice things up just a wee bit. But the main draw of that game is the awesome creatures, and most specifically dinosaurs, that roam the lands, which entices me to add Alex's mobs, Alex's caves, and most importantly, the Dawn era. Riding mounts into battle has always been such an awesome thought to me, and quite frankly, just sounds like a whole lot of fun, so I thought I might as well include it. I might also add some of my own through my own mod, but that's more to be talked about later. On the topic of mounts, the next thing that is pretty messed up is the state of travel in Minecraft. I want to encourage infrastructure and thoughtful planning, so the most important and likely most controversial change is making rockets no longer work with elytras, and most specifically adding the Illyrian mod. This will make elytras a tool to speed up and simplify infrastructure instead of being the ultimate travel solution. Elytras will now be lifted with campfires so that you can still stay in the air and move extremely fast without it being something present everywhere. Hi, sorry about that. Editing Igneo here. Turns out the Aileron mod is not updated to 1.20, so I'm going to try to implement some of these mechanics myself. I know I'm going to disable the elytra flight with rockets, and if I can't do that, I'll probably just disable it entirely until I find a different fix. But I'll try to essentially just find a way to make the Aileron mod itself, because I don't need the enchantments for reasons I'll get to later. But that should be all. Thank you. I will also be making the minecart the second fastest mode of transportation behind only the elytra, making it defend you from losing hunger, thirst, and experiencing the environment, as I will also be adding the Tough as Nails mod to make exploring a much bigger event. Things like mounts and various climbing tools will be necessary, as you will only be allowed to place and break blocks inside claimed territory, with some exceptions of course, but those are nuances to work out later, as everything is still very in development. But then you might ask, how on earth would I go mining if I can only mine inside claimed chunks? Well, I saved the best part for last. This is, in my opinion, the most legendary and perfected co-op game in existence, and it would be nothing short of a crime not to include it. I'm talking about none other than the holy grail of great communities and riveting gameplay, Deep Rock Galactic. Minecraft's mining is one of the most mundane and dreaded experiences in any of my survival worlds. The Caves and Cliffs update made it much more fun to go exploring in these caves, but it could be so much better. Deep Rock, on the other hand, has the most ungodly replayable missions I've ever seen, regardless of how many times I've played it. The most basic mission type ever of just mining Morkite is a blast to play through because of the engaging combat, teamwork, and stakes that every mission has. This isn't even mentioning some of the crazier missions I could adapt into Minecraft, like escort duty, industrial sabotage, egg hunting, and elimination. This will turn mining into a crazy, fantastical experience instead of breaking blocks in a straight line. Now, of course, there are so many other changes I'm going to make, devlogs to come, and just about everything here is subject to change. I haven't even talked about every silhouette in the thumbnail yet. If you're interested in seeing where this goes, subscribe to me and join the Discord in the description. I'll see y'all in the next update.